Yo, it's your boy Alex THFC, Mr. Box Office TV. And if you don't know, you need to get to know. And welcome to Box Office City at Mr. Box Office TV, Mr. Box Office Unleashed. And yes, he's back. I'm back really when I didn't really want to be. And I'll tell you why. Well, I've been not sitting there, but just getting about my business. There's been a lot of people talking a lot of rubbish. Talking a lot of rubbish about, oh, we're not doing too well at the moment. Well, I did tell you, didn't I? I was told that I need to be positive. I need to be open-minded. Well, now I'm hearing the shouting now saying that our club is an absolute shambles. I told you so, didn't I? But this is the point. While people were talking and just keep on talking, I've just been keeping quiet and listening. Not listening too much because they talk a load of nonsense, some of them. And I've just been sitting there and just biding my time. The only problem is, this whole thing about what recently has happened with the news today, I couldn't keep my mouth shut anymore. So there had to be another episode. So let's talk about, this is the third episode of Mr. Box Office Unleashed. So get yourself strapped in and enjoy while I unleash on loads of people and the people that are embarrassing themselves at the moment. Firstly, our club, for one, and that's it. But on the show today, number one, you've already got a spoiler alert, ticket prices. Yes, ticket prices. There are people out there defending this at the moment. Just defending our ticket prices right now. Saying, oh, we've got to worry about the inflation right now. We've got to worry about, everything else is going on at the moment. I'll keep my powder dry right now. But that's number one. Number one on the list to unleash on. Number two is the favourite subject of Tottenham Hotspur. And it's the reason why I sit there and say we're not really a football club. Well, that's the subject of today, actually. No football club, no football team at the moment. Yeah, because I've been hearing too much about Daniel Levy all of a sudden, all the time. Also, Donald Cullen and maybe one other board member as well. We're talking about Harry Kane. We're talking about Harry Kane again. Again. This is the whole problem. We're talking about Harry Kane again. I mean, it fathoms me. One player, and we're still going on about him. We are still going on about one player. It's fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. And then going on to the third one, number three. Well, I'm trying to do French. Trying to do the French saying. Sorry, I do apologize if anybody's French in the chat right now. What if Tottenham Hotspur start well first part of the season? I'll leave that there. So let's get straight into it. Now, like I always say, everybody else in the chat, you know what to do. If you want to ask a question to your boy, your man, the main event, the professor of truth and entertainment, you know what to do. You just put a Q in the box, and the Q in the box, and put your question for Mr. Box Office to read out later on in the show. And I'll leave that for later on in the show. But let's get straight into it because this is going to be a fast-paced event to stream today, live show today. And let's get into it about the ticket prices at Tottenham Hotspur. Now, let's get into it. Let's talk about a little thing that I saw today that I got posted today. And it says this. THSC ST also say the club has recognised number of fixtures of higher ticket bands. This is despite Spurs suffering the worst Premier League finish in 14 years last season, missing out on all European competition, and the relationship between the fans and the club have reaching all-time low. Well, that speaks for itself, because I stopped going after Manchester United. Tottenham fans are facing the prospect of losing their best player, Harry Kane, and to Bayern Munich, and the prices were rises of the prices were also made despite objections of every member of the Tottenham's new fan advisory board at the first meeting in July, which includes two THST members. Tottenham Hotspur said in their statement, match day tickets have been frozen since we opened the stadium over 4 years ago. Despite the significant cost increases in our supply chains and the high inflation, the club continues to absorb the majority of the cost of these costs and rises. Now, for me, this is just from Sky Sports, by the way. I've just got an extract. Thank you to the person that sent it, posted that. But for me, it just shows you how low we're getting. It was one of the worst seasons last season. It was one of the worst seasons last season, Tottenham Hotspur, in many years now. Most embarrassing season going. Remember the beginning of that season as well. We were supposedly positive because we got Champions League, which is like a day out and like a day out, basically. Yeah. If you're going out to the Buckingham Palace, that's a day out in the Champions League for Tottenham Hotspur, by the way. If you're going out on a day out, going to the Fort Park, that's like a day out in the Champions League for Tottenham Hotspur, by the way. Yeah. Because that's Tottenham Hotspur taking Champions League seriously. Day outs. Yeah, not seriously taking it seriously, actually wanting to win the competition. No, it's not. It's like us just going out on a day out to, go out and, just take part. Just take part in Champions League, by the way. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah. Right. So with our worst season last season, yeah, Daniel Levy still has to pay. It still gets his big salary though. Still gets his massive salary. Yeah. Why is it? Why does Daniel Levy not put some of that salary towards some of the cost of, some of the costs that he's incurred, right? That we missed out on from last season. Why does he not do that? Why does he not do that? Because for me, it kind of says to me, we're not focusing on the real people at the end of the day. You see what I'm saying? And this whole ticket prices rises. Yeah, great. I understand there is increases. Yes, everyone's struggling at the moment, but you're hitting the hardest people that have stuck by you for a long time now. And this is why I say this is not a football club. This is not a football club anymore for me, because I'm hearing too much about, the finances. We need to do this. We need to do that to keep ourselves going and keep the club still operating in the right frame, and that's it. But while that's happening, we're missing out on what is really important, the football side, and that's it. Now, I know, from the beginning when they became owners, the focus wasn't on the football, and it's quite well publicized. It's not about the football, but if you're going to say that to me and you do what you're doing right now, I should expect the best players at my football club then. If I'm paying the biggest prices of the Premier League, right? If I'm seeing the biggest prices being spent at Tottenham Hotspur, I should expect the best players at Tottenham Hotspur. I should expect the best managers at Tottenham Hotspur. I should expect the best service at Tottenham Hotspur. And my standards of my football club should be up there. If I'm paying the biggest prices. Because when you go to Harrods, for instance, if you don't get the service that you desire, you start complaining to them, don't you? Because you sit there and say, well, I'm going to the best, so-called the best. Yeah, the best products, the best brands, the best clothes, the best products. So if I'm paying the best price, the biggest prices for that, I should expect the best and best quality as well. So I don't understand why, you know, why people are having to go at us and having to go at the fans saying, "Oh, well, you should expect this because of of ticket, because of inflation and everything else." Well, okay, that's fine, but if you're gonna do that, increase prices, you should do better quality than you're doing right now. For instance, as well, not haggling over defenders. Not even top defenders we're talking about here. Not talking about Guardiola. We're not talking about like players like Nesta back in his day, Rio Ferdinand back in his day. We're talking about Tatsoba, who, to be honest with you, I don't know nothing about. To be honest with you, I only saw a few videos of him, and to be honest with you, he looks okay. And Van der Ven, who for me looks like another Sanchez. Without him coming here and proving it to me that he's not another Sanchez, I don't know. But the description of him, he looks like another Sanchez. We're getting a Tosin who came from Man City and then went to Fulham, and he's got potential. I mean, you couldn't make it up, and that's it. We can't make a decision on Harry Kane. We're still allegedly working with Prodigy, who has got done for what he's been done for, allegedly. We haven't got a director of football now. I don't care whether Postecoglou didn't use a director of football before. What I was told, we were going to get a director of football at Tottenham, and we haven't got one. There isn't a plan. We've been sacking our managers like no tomorrow. So for me, the quality and the product that I've been offered the last how many years now, and maybe you can go far back to when they started Enoch and Daniel Levy, hasn't been great. To be fair to them, at the beginning, when it was 90, when they came in, Tottenham Hotspur were doing absolutely nothing. But as the years have gone on, the excuses have really run thin. And that's all I'm saying at the end of the day. And this kind of takes the biscuit. What I will say to those people that are defending this, think about it when you're a kid. When you were a kid and you wanted to go and see your beloved Tottenham, was it easy for you to go and see games? Was it too expensive for you to go and see games? Because this is the thing. We think about it because we understand the world at the moment, because if you're in the finance industry, you know a little bit more about finances. Great. Get a Blue Peter badge. Great. But my point is, football is about the fans. It's about the fans. It's about the working people, everyday people. Because we want to make it exclusive for everyone, don't we? So if you're like hiking up the prices, you are discounting a majority of those fan base that are struggling at the moment, absolutely struggling, and that's it. And for me, I don't see a correlation to how this is going to make the fan base want to be more together, and that's it. It's going to only divide them even further, and that's it for me. I don't see any anything that's going to make me any positive about the situation at all, to be honest with you. And that's it. Tell me in the chat right now, are you happy with the ticket prices right now? Are you happy with your football club? Actually, I'll turn the question around. Do you think at the moment, Tottenham Hotspur are a football club to be admired at the moment. Yes or no? Put it in the comments right now. Yes or no? Yes or no? Put in the comments right now. Are we admired football club? Are we a football club to be admired? Yes or no? Because at the moment, I don't see it. I do not see it at all. I'm seeing lots of no's. Big up to everybody in the chat, by the way. Please like and subscribe. Please keep liking the stream. Thank you for everybody that liked the stream yesterday. Last time I was on, I would love to get up to 100 likes. I'd love to get to 100 likes if we can get up to 100 likes. That'd be really appreciated. Let's get up to 100 likes today, and support your boy, Mr. Box Office TV, and that's it. But yeah, it's a laughing stock. We are absolute laughing stock. I've got to be honest. We are absolute laughing stock. And for me, and the people that defend it, they're a joke. They're an absolute joke. And for me, it's just kind of just sitting there saying, well, it don't really affect me. It don't affect me really. You know what I mean? It's like, well, I'm okay. I can go whenever I want. That's fine. But at the end of the day, this is supposed to be exclusive for everyone. Exclusive for absolutely everybody, and for me, that's the crux of it all, and that's it. You know, and it touches a nerve a lot of the time as well for me, because you know the standards of this club for me is never going to change when you don't have a plan, and that's it for me. It will. We have to see whether this plan that they're planning at the moment with Postecoglou is going to come about right now. You know my thoughts of why I feel the way I feel at the moment. I'm not backing this. I'm not backing this at the moment because at the moment, yeah, we're playing good football. We're going to play good football possibly. We're going to be playing good football next season. Yes. Whether this is going to be sustainable, there's question marks on that for me, and it's quite clear. And it's only taken 4 weeks, 4 weeks, 4 weeks, right? From the time that people were really positive about the 3 signs we got in Postecoglou, people are getting positive, getting excited, and it's taken 4 weeks. 4 weeks for people to now say, oh, it don't look good at the moment. Oh, it really don't look good. Oh my gosh. I'm now hearing, oh, Brentford, oh, they're looking good. Oh, we're going to get thrashed. We're going to get absolutely thrashed. The confidence that I was hearing before is now dwindling. The master completely gone. The master completely gone now. Absolutely gone. And for me, it just sums up why. It just sums up why I'm. For me, I'm not. I've said all along. I know my football club. I know my football club, and my football club is what it is. It's been a failure for a long time, and that's it. It's not changed, and it will never change the way it's going at the moment. Not changed whatsoever. I can't imagine us changing for the better anytime soon. You see, the fact that we haven't got Scott Munn here now, I know that might be not their fault, but at the same time, really, let's be honest here, you should have really got an inkling this was going to happen. You know, there should have been a plan in place for if he's not starting, because you can see that Postecoglou is getting wound up. You can see that Postecoglou is getting wound up, and things are not going to plan. And this is why I get wound up about the ticket prices again, because when you're having to pay all these big prices at the moment, and you're seeing the mess that is happening in front of you, and this is only the summer, by the way. The season's not even started. The season's not even started yet. You shouldn't have. This is the problem I have at the moment. This is the problem I have with it at the moment with the ticket prices. That's all I'll say. And listen, there is going to be a protest on the ticket prices. You know, people have got their choices to make whether they want to do that or not. And you know, hopefully, what I will say is as well is that the only way we're going to have to change things is to be together on this. We have to be together on this, and that's it. You know, it isn't a case of, you know, we have to be together as one on this. But I know for a fact that unfortunately there are too many egos in the Tottenham fan base. That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all. But there are a lot of egos in the Tottenham fan base, which unfortunately means that, and there's egos everywhere, every fan base. So I don't think for me, I just don't see there's going to be any togetherness because there's going to be egos, you know, agendas of what they want as well, and that's it for me. And until we all come together, I think that's going to be the only way forward for me to get us forward, and that's it. I did have a question in the chat, and it's from Scott M. And he says, who talks more waffle, Barry or Chris Crowlin? Well, that's quite easy. The fanboy, Barry. So that answers the question straight away. Big up to Barry, by the way. I mean, it's hard, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's hard because, you know, especially when I'm actually that great. You know what I mean? You know, like I said, bad to life, bad to reality. And you'll be back to reality when you see your boy Emerson flop next season. You know what I mean? The bang average defender that he is, Emerson Royale. But anyway, moving on. Back to what I was back to the show. Right. Thanks for the question, Scott, by the way. But yeah, that's really what I'm saying at the moment. That's what I'm saying at the moment about the ticket prices. It hurts Alex, if I'm really honest. It does hurt Alex. The ticket prices. It does really do hurt. It does really hurt Alex. And for me, I just think that when I hear the crap that I hear from other fans, I'll just call it out. Sean, Spurs Talk Show. I've said to him, to his face anyway. I've said it to him. You know, it gets to a point where I'm sitting there thinking, well, okay, so what's the point? You know what I mean? We're not here to be political here. And you just summed it all up for me that we are becoming a political club. We are becoming a political club. It's not about the football. It isn't about the football anymore. And that's it for me. And I you know, like I said, I go to football games and you're more interested about what's going on behind the scenes than what's on the pitch. And that for me is not very good at all for me. Not very good at all. I don't like that at all for me. Yeah, that's just not for me at all. That's just not for me at all. I've got to be honest. I do see some questions in the chat. About centre backs. Centre backs. I will leave that till later on. I'm going to leave my powder dry on that. But to be honest with you, I think people know what I feel about that already. But yeah, I will come back to those questions because I do want to answer those questions definitely. Yeah, so yeah, I think that's really all I can say on that. But if anybody else has got any questions on the on the ticket prices, please put it in the chat. I just want to go and just say hello to a few people because I think I've been a bit because I was just unleashing a little bit. Big up to everybody in the chat, by the way. Big up to supporting your boy, Mr. Box Office, the Professor of Truth and Entertainment. And if you don't know, get to know. Big up to everybody. Big up to Israel Uncovered. Big up to Lily White Lane. Big up to you, mate. Big up to you. I've seen you about you. Really, you're doing well for yourself. Big up to Phil P. Woo! Big up to him, bruv. Big up to TJ Warren. Thank you for support. Big up to Hasper. Big up to Lee Smith. Big up to Dan E. Big up to Kuva. Big up to you, Tuva. Hope you're doing well. Big up to Wayne. Yeah, big up to you, mate. Big up to Scott M. Big up to Perchy TV. Big up to Love Fighting. You know who it is. You know who it is, bruv. Big up to you, bruv. Give up to you, bruv. Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. Tot Spurs. Big up to Tot Spur. Big up to Who's News. Big up to Top G14. Big up to Meta Football TV. Big up to Ben Kaufman. And big up to Hedge. Big up to you all. Big up to you. Big up to Nicholas. I do need the fan mail though, Nick. I do need the fan mail. Big up to DJ Evo. Big up to you. Big up to you. If you don't get the service, Harrods, you don't go back. Are you still going to pay for your tickets? Yeah, that's a good point. But I think at the end of the day, I think what I'm saying though, DJ, is that unfortunately, for me, it's a personal thing. It's a personal choice if you want to still go, regardless. Because at the end of the day, there is a personal reason for going. I love football. I love watching football in real time. Being there and watching it for myself. So I think for me, it's not just about. It is about it's personal. It's a personal thing. It's also seeing people as well, and I know that's for other people as well. These people don't see each other for a long time, and the only time they may see each other is during a match, and that's it. So it's not just about going to see your team; it's also going to see friends and family and stuff. That's why I think people. It's very important to them. That's why people struggle during lockdown, during that time. So I feel that it's a personal choice. It's definitely a personal choice. I don't like people having to go at the people that go, though. I do not like it. I didn't like it when Terry Flewis had a go at me. And by the way, I've told him this, by the way. So this is not bitching behind his back. I've told him this. I have told him this to his face. I've told him this on the phone. So, because for me, he doesn't like it when if you go personal with him about why he doesn't go to his beloved Manchester United. He doesn't like it. Doesn't like it at all. But he feels it's okay to go at people that go. You know what I mean? So, for me, no, I don't. I think it's, at the end of the day, I've got my personal reasons why I go. I love going to see live football, and I don't like watching it on TV. I don't like watching it on TV anymore. I just think it's overrated. I think it's just nothing more than just going to see your team playing football, and that's it. I mean, one thing I will say is it'd be interesting to see Tottenham actually play some good football, because I've been starved of good football for the last 4 years. So it'd be nice to see Tottenham play football on the ground, and that's it. What it's going to end up being next season is a lottery. We don't know, and that's it. But as I said, I still need to be convinced, because I'm not convinced this guy's going to stay if he has a bad run. I think they're going to sack him, because, like I said, who's in the coaching staff? Mason. But you know my thoughts on that already. Go and watch my other videos, and you know we're at already. Big up to Brian Daigle. Big up to Brian Daigle. And big up to everybody in the chat. Big up to Spurs fan. There's some new people in the chat as well. Big up to them all. Big up to them all. I'm just a little bit behind, but yeah, I think I've got everybody right now. You know what? I'm going to answer the questions at the moment. Let me just answer the questions. Let me just get some quick. Big up to Brian. Big up to and big up to Madison Madders as well. Big up to everyone. Big up to everybody. All right. Right. There's some questions in the chat that I need to answer. There was one definitely. Oh, that's a good question as well. Right. This is a question that I wanted to answer. Which brand of tissue should I use to cry when Clement Longley lines up at centre back next year? Durex, because it's Tottenham sponsors, and that's it. That's the only answer I would say. Durex, very good for the eyes. Durex, I've been told as well. You know what I mean? Maybe get me some as well. You know, crying for the people that was telling me that I was negative and I waffle. And those are the people that that have been crying the whole summer because we said that we ain't got no centre backs. Don't need to say anymore, isn't it? It's called giving them receipts, and that's it. But thank you for your question, Ben. Big up to you. And that's that. And Nicola, that was just a statement. And Danny, Alex, what do you feel about the centre backs? The centre backs are absolutely rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. I'm not convinced about Romero anymore, to be honest with you. And I don't care whether he's put his allegiance to Tottenham at the moment. You need to do better what you're doing at the moment. I'm sorry. You need to do much better. Dyer, we know my feelings on Dyer. Virgil van Dyer, I was told a couple of seasons ago. Well, look what's happened there. You know what I mean? Absolute crap. Absolute crap. Sanchez needs to go. Rodon absolutely needs to go. Tanganga needs a loan. He needs a loan. I feel sorry for him. He needs a loan. He absolutely needs a loan. He's lost at Tottenham. Absolutely lost at Tottenham, and that's it for me. So yeah, we haven't got any good centre backs at all for me. The fact that we haven't sorted that situation out for a long time is a shambles. But you know that's Tottenham Hotspur for you. Yeah, I'm just not. I'm not fascinated by it. I'm not fascinated by it at all. Yeah, I'm not happy about it at all for me. So yeah, for me, yeah, we need a couple of centre backs. I think the sad thing is about our club at the moment. Yeah, the sad thing is about our football club at the moment. Dyer is definitely going to stay, regardless of what anybody else says. I think Dyer is definitely staying, and that decision might ruin Tottenham's season. I have to be honest. I can see Romero's obviously staying, and for me, I can see Langley coming in. You know, I think Langley is definitely coming in as well. Davis, for me, is average. You know what I mean? He's slow. He's very slow, and I don't. I think for me, I think he should have been moved on a long time ago. I feel embarrassed that I was actually defending him. And I started to realize that I mean, he's not, you know, he's a second string defender, really, I would say, and he does a job. But again, he's not. His ceiling has been reached. You see what I'm saying? So for me, yeah, I just feel for me that he's not good enough anymore. He's just not good, you know. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, just going back on the. This is a good one. Yeah, it's Kleenex. Yeah, it is Kleenex. Yeah. To be honest with you, I don't know too much about tissues, Ben. To be honest with you, but yeah, thank you for letting me know. Yeah, you're very good at telling me what's good, and that's it. But yeah, Kleenex, definitely Kleenex. Yeah. So, but yeah, on the defenders, I'm just not. Nah, I'm just not. I'm not. No, I'm not a fan of the defenders. I've got to be honest. Not a big fan of them at all. To be honest, at all. So yeah, for me, nah, not a fan of them at all. And I think we do need. I think we needed a couple of centre backs for me. I think we needed two, at least two for me. That could work well with each other as well as work well with Romero. That could work well with Romero as well. But I don't know if that's going to happen now. I think it's going to be definitely Langley one is definitely coming in, and another defender, and whether that defender is going to be, it's just about partnerships, and that's my concern at the moment. Is we're not thinking about the partnership angle of this. You see what I'm saying? Because yeah, you can have great defenders, but you need good partnerships. That helps you. That helps the whole defense. And I just think we're haggling on defenders, and we're not really thinking about who's actually going to be good as a partner for Romero. You see, and how's that going to work, and how that's going to gel. Because that's important at the end of the day, partnerships throughout the team. So, yeah, I'm not happy about it, but at the same time, I'm not surprised. So, why should I be surprised by this? It shouldn't be a surprise to me, and that's it for me. Wayne, name one winner and one loser. Do you mean in the Tottenham team, or do you mean in the Tottenham team, or do you mean in the Premier League? Just want to know. If you want to talk about Tottenham, one winner, I think, if you talk about who's in the Tottenham team, I think it definitely has to be Basuma for me. I think Basuma is our myth. He's definitely. Oh, in general. Here we go. Well, I mean, I'm answering the Tottenham aspect of it. I think one winner would be Basuma for me, if I'm really honest, because I think he looks for me someone that can really be that general for me. If it was a Tottenham aspect of it, one loser, I've got to be honest. I just think it's. I don't know who would be a loser, but I just think for me, I couldn't really think at the moment. I need to come back to you on that one. But if it's in general, the Premier League, if it's in general, that's an interesting one. That's a very interesting one. Looking at the teams now. So I'm looking at the teams now. So looking at the signings at the moment, Aston Villa look good with the signings that they've got in. You got Man City, that are always going to be dangerous. Even though for me, it's a difficult season because you got to repeat what you've done. You want to try and do something better, maybe, and try and maintain what you did last season, which was absolutely fantastic. So I think Man City will be winners. I think you've got to put your hat on Man City because they know how to win. They know how to win, regardless. The losers, Luton are going to have a very difficult season, a really difficult season for me. I think that's going to be a struggle for them. I think. I'm just trying to look at the Premier League right now. I think it's going to be a very. I don't think it's going to be an open league. I don't think it's going to be an open league at all. I think for me, it's going to be. There's going to be a very clear divide between the good teams, and I do say good teams, and obviously elite teams, right, and the below average teams for me. I'm just trying to get the Premier League up right now because I don't have it in my head right now who we got here. But I do feel that there's going to be there. I think if I had to call a loser right now, it would have to be Luton. Yeah, it have to be Luton. At the start, I thought actually maybe Wolves will struggle because you can see that they're struggling to make signings at the moment. So yeah, I think my losers would be Wolves, and my winner would be Man City. You can't bet against Man City, can you? Really? Unfortunately, you can't because they know how to win, and they know when to pick it. They know how to get to get over the line. Even when their backs against the wall, they know how to get over that line. And with the signings that they made, but also there's always one player that steps up anyway, regardless. In Man City, they know how to do it. So I think they'll be good. I think my dark horses are definitely Newcastle, but they're in Champions League. But yeah, my dark horses have to be Aston Villa. Yeah, I think that's another one as well. Aston Villa, definitely. Definitely, my dark horses are definitely Aston Villa because they have made some very impressive signings, and it seems to be a plan at Aston Villa. They've got their director of football in, and yeah, I just think they're very good. So hopefully that answers your question, Wayne. It's a very good question, by the way. Really good question. Absolutely fantastic question, by the way. So yeah, I just want to go through some more questions because so Alex, do you think Ange's going to pick as captain? Who do you think is going to be as captain the upcoming season? Right, for me at the moment, I think for me, it leads to me thinking it could be Pasuma. He's dominating. He seems to get on with the team a lot, and he seems to have those qualities where he's got that leadership about him. I see that there's a little bit more synergy between him and Postecoglou, and he's in that centre midfield, that very important part of that midfield of Postecoglou's plan. So I think for me, it might be Basuma. For me, I think that it's leading towards him. I think for me, yeah, I think that would be my guess if I'm really honest. Yeah, I think that would be it for me. I wouldn't. Hopefully, it wouldn't be Harry Kane. And ironically, let's go on to subject number 2. Harry Kane. Honestly, you couldn't make it up with this club, isn't it? I did say this is going to be the saga of the summer. And look what's happened. It is Tottenham's saga of the summer. You thought that this saga was good, and in going towards its end with the fact that Daniel Levy was meeting up with the entourage of Bayern Munich. But now you hear today that they're far apart in their valuation of Harry Kane. And now you're hearing that if we don't sell him, nothing happens until the first game of the season, Harry Kane will look to stay at Tottenham Hotspur. Now, this just shows you why this shows you another reason why I can't believe in what's going on at the moment. Because for me, Tottenham Hotspur haven't moved on. We haven't moved on. We moving on and trying to build another team, you've got to rip out a lot of the stuff, and including the star players as well. And for me, I think for me, we had to let him go, Harry Kane. It's clear to me that he wanted to leave because he wants to win trophies, right? So he's got an opportunity to go to Germany and win trophies at Bayern Munich, playing the Champions League, win some honours, and that's it. But with Tottenham Hotspur, we're haggling over money. And the thing that annoys me about the whole thing about the deal, they want 100 million for their striker, for our striker, Harry Kane. Fair enough, that's fine. But we were saying that we don't want to pay 40 million for Raya from Brentford, who's on the same, has also got 1 year on his contract, left on his contract at Brentford. So I'm just confused why we expect Bayern Munich to pay the 100 million for Harry Kane, even though we all know that he could go for free and he could sign for any club in Europe on a free in January. And next season, well, next summer, can sign for any club in the summer for free. And I'm just confused. I'm just really confused. I don't know how Harry Kane, we're believing all these stories about Harry Kane, we can persuade him to stay at Tottenham. The fact that we are trying to persuade him to stay at Tottenham says so much why you should get rid of him in the first place. You shouldn't be trying to persuade a player to show we're making ambition. For me, you either want to stay at Tottenham or you don't want to stay at Tottenham. It's quite clear for me. It's quite clear. And the fact that this is such an issue right now just shows you why I called our club not a football club anymore and why I called Carrying a loser. Because any top player, Sheringham, Sol Campbell, Walker, top players, Berbatov, Modric, they would have said, sorry, I'm off. I'm done. I'm done. Absolutely done. But this is just comical now. It is literally comical what you're seeing at Tottenham Hotspur right now. I can't. For me, it's not. For me, we have not moved on if Harry Kane's still here. It was clear when you saw the preseason games, and I'm not taking too much from the preseason games. I'm just saying that we are more a team without Harry Kane. More players are stepping up and trying to do something in the system, and that's it. I don't think the system fits Kane. Maddison and Kane get in each other's way because Kane wants to create still and drop back and want to create, but you've got Maddison there. You're better off having Richarlison, even though he's a bang average striker. You're better off having Richarlison there. At least then Richarlison can still go forward. Yes, he needs to sort himself out trying to stop getting offside all the time. That's embarrassing, by the way. The amount of times he's found offside is absolutely embarrassing. Right? And he can go off the shoulder. Bring a young striker in that's not got an ego. That, he might have one good season, but he keeps himself going. What is it about players now today? I mean, this is why I don't listen to people that talk about stats and all this stuff. It's like these players today have one good season. You don't see them next season. I mean, the thing is, though, think about the greats: Zidane, Figo, Rivaldo, Romario. They're doing it season in, season out, every single season. But the kids today, it's like, oh, you won season. Oh, yeah, they're about 100,000. Oh, this is a star kid. This is a generational talent all of a sudden. Generational talent. And I'm like, am I stupid? Am I stupid? Since the whole in the nose, Romano, Jacobs, what was it? His name, Jacobs. Sorry if I butchered his name. All these journalists, Dan Kirkpatrick, all these journalists in the know, yeah, it's like you speak about a player. It's like, oh, he's a great player. He had a great year this year. Oh, he's this, he's that, he's this, he's this. I'm like, okay, he's only had 1 year at this place. He ain't that great. He ain't that great. I mean, players like Zidane, Nesta, Rio Ferdinand will put these players to shame, bruv. They put these players to shame. I'll tell you what. I'm sorry. I'm divulging. Sorry, but I have to. I have to have a rant about this. Put stats about the players that were top players in the 90s. Yeah, and it would be embarrassing. Yeah, this is why I don't listen to people that give me stats and all this crap, because it's like you don't know a good player if you need to look at stats every single week about these players. You know what I mean? You don't need it. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And this is the thing. Harry Kane, top players know their place. They know that they need to win they need to get themselves over that line to win trophies. And unfortunately, Kane has failed to do that. And that's it. And Tottenham Hotspur needs to move on for this guy. And we're not taking that to account at all. It's ridiculous that we're not doing that, and that's it for me. It's absolutely ridiculous, and I don't understand why we don't seem to get it. It's like the whole thing with Son. Maybe it was time for him to move on, but he chose to stay at Tottenham. And to his credit, he said, "Well, I'm staying at Tottenham." He's put the rumours to bed straight away. But Harry Kane, he doesn't put a transfer request in. He doesn't say anything. So we're all in limbo still. So just hearing it from people in the knows what he's doing, and that's it. And it's not helping anybody. While this is happening, there's trouble behind the scenes, because no one really knows what's going on with certain players. Certain players want to leave, and it's just a bit of a mess, really. And that's it. So for me, I just think it's just quite clear. You either just make yourself known and say, "Oh, I want to leave," and then the decision needs to be made, or just say you're going to stay and just sign a contract. But leaving us in limbo for the whole season, I need to be persuaded all of a sudden. I don't get it. I don't get it. But that's just Tottenham Hotspur for you. It's absolutely ridiculous. And for me, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. But the saga's going to rumble on, and I'll tell you now. I mean, he said that he's, ITKs are saying that if he stays, if it gets to the Brentford game, he'll decide to stay, and that's it. I don't know if that's really going to help Tottenham at all, to be honest with you. I just don't think it's moving forward at all for me. Yeah, it isn't going to help at all. It really isn't. But yeah, big up to everybody in the chat again. Big up to everybody. It's very late at night, and a big up to everybody, and thank you for all watching. Big up to everybody, and big up to Minik. Thank you. Big up to you. Big up to TJ. Big up to United Spurs of America. Big up to you. Big up to you. And by the way, it ain't waffling. It's just talking the truth, and that's it every single time. Everybody knows Mr. Box Office talks truth every single time. Listen, I didn't really need to do this, but the fact is, I need to just get my thoughts out on this at the moment. It's an absolute mess at Tottenham. It is an absolute mess at Tottenham, but it will lead me to my third point. This will lead to my third point, and This is an interesting question. It's something that you wouldn't expect Mr. Box Office to talk about and say, coming from Mr. Box Office's mouth. What if Tottenham Hotspur start off the season well? I was thinking about this. I was just thinking about this, and there is a possibility Tottenham Hotspur could start the season off well. Because, Brentford look good. Brentford look very, very good at the moment. But can you see Tottenham Hotspur can quite easily get a result? They can pull it out the bag. I don't think Tottenham Hotspur Tottenham Hotspur have started well in games, haven't they? Have started well in the seasons before. I think they have. I think there's certain seasons they haven't done it, but they have relatively started well. Last season we did start well. We beat Southampton 4-1, I think it was. You can correct me in the chat if I got it wrong. But if you look at the games that we've got Brentford. Now, if we get a draw at that game, it's a good, decent result. Manchester United. Now, they've had a hard pre-season. They've had a lot of matches. They might be well prepared, but it's at home. First game, 5:30 as well on a Saturday night. Could do. Bournemouth are a very interesting team. Next game, very interesting team. They've got a new manager in. They're going to, they're starting a new project at the football club. But, you'd say that Tottenham Hotspur would have a relatively good opportunity there. Burnley will be a very difficult game away from home against Vincent Kompany's Vincent Kompany's Burnley team. Let me just share this. Let me see if I'm going to share this. So I'm keeping you in the loop. Keep people in the loop. What I'm looking at here. There we go. Here we go. Because it gets a bit rude if I don't do that. Here we go. There we go. Here we go. So if I look at there we go. So yeah, so I'm just looking at the fixtures right now. So then you got Sheffield United. Now I think they're going to have a very difficult season. Sheffield United again. I think it's some weak teams have come up this season. I mean, no disrespect to Luton, but I mean it's the first time in the Premier League, so it'd be interesting to see what they do. Burnley, it'd be interesting to see if Kompany can actually manage himself. I think manage Burnley in the Premier League. But they'll be a very difficult team to beat away from home. And then you got Sheffield United, which we have to see how they fare in the Premier League. I mean, they've got a different manager now. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think there are some winnable games there. To be honest with you, if you look at it, yeah, Tottenham Hotspur can definitely struggle in those games as well, and there's no doubt about it. I've said all along that I'm still not convinced, but I do pose a question. Tottenham Hotspur have got through games though, and that's it. You know what I mean? It has happened. It has happened before. So this is the thing. I think there is I think there is a chance that Tottenham Hotspur might do well. Might win 4 out of the 5. You could say that. You could say that. It's a fact. It's an interesting one for me. And if they do it, what do you think the reaction is going to be with the board? would they end up signing anybody else? That's the reason why I asked the question. Would that be, because the thing is, for me, if Tottenham Hotspur don't do well those games, that will be interesting to see what they will do in the transfer window. Would they react to that? Would they panic? That's what I'm trying to say at the moment. But if Tottenham Hotspur do well, it might look at them. The board might look at it and say, "Well, you're doing well. These players at the moment. Keep it going. Keep it going." And be less reactive to actually, be more open to try and add more players if the opportunity does arise, and that's it. I don't know. It's an interesting one, but there is a possibility that we could get through some of these games. Now, I'm not saying that it will happen. I'm just saying, what if it does happen? What if it does happen? It'd be funny if it does happen, because if it does happen and we, get, we are relatively successful in these games, and get through these games and get at least, so if I look at it like this, we get 1 point from Brentford. So 1 point from Brentford. So 1 point from Brentford. Here we go. Then you got Manchester United. Get a draw. So that's 2 points. Then Bournemouth. Let's say you've got to get a win out of that game. So that's 5 points. So then you got Burnley. I'll say 1 point. So that's 6 points out of 4 games. 4 games now. Right, 4 games. So you got Sheffield United, that's got to be a win. So that's 9 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. So yeah. So this is live, people. Mr. Box Office TV. Keep those lights going up, boys. Get those lights going up, guys and girls. Guys and girls, keep those lights coming up, guys and girls. And and subscribe to Mr. Box Office TV as well. So 1 point, 1 point, 2 points. So then 3 points at Bournemouth, so that's 5 points. Then 1 point at Burnley, so that's 6 points. So that's 4. And then you got Tottenham, so then you got another 3 points, so that would be 9 points. Arsenal, well, yeah, that's a loss. I have to be honest. So let's go up to, and then Liverpool. So yeah, so then I'm looking at this. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm looking at it. 9 points from 7 games at the moment. I've said basically that I've got Brentford 1 point, Manchester United. Okay, if I'm trying to be optimistic, maybe get a 1 point, maybe 3 points at Bournemouth. 3 points at Bournemouth, possibly. Burnley 1 point. So then we're talking about 6 points at the moment. Then 3 points, that's 9 points. We got to Sheffield United, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5. Yeah, okay. And then unfortunately, I see us losing against Arsenal, and I see us losing against Liverpool as well because of their pace, and the midfield that they're trying to build is very, very good. It looks like as well. So I'm looking at this. So I'm looking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm looking at 9 points from 7 games at the moment. And yeah, I think that's it. I mean, that's me looking at it optimistically. If I'm answering my question I'm posing at the moment, what if Tottenham Hotspur? So I'm looking at the positive. If I'm positive, if I'm optimistic, 9 points out of 7 games. So yeah, there is a possibility of that. Now, whether that would happen, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know, to be honest. Um, I mean, it really depends on whether we are used to the system, and that's it. It really is, and that's it. But it depends on what happens during the season, and that's it for me. But there is what if we did go? We did well. What if we did? That would be very, very interesting. You have to say that. We have to say that. It would be really interesting. How would we all react? How would the ball react? Would we still look to add more players? Or would we just say, oh, we're doing more of those players, we should stick with what we've got at the moment? Or would it be enough for us to at least go for the cups this season? Because for me, yeah, I think there's a lot of people that have said their expectation is to go for a cup this season. I think that should be expectation as well for me, because I think if you are going for a cup, and the thing is, in the past we have got to the finals in our first season in a cup. We have done it in the past, so I don't see why we can't do it this season. Why can we not take the cup seriously? We haven't got Europe this season, so yeah, I think we do need to take that seriously. But it's going to be an interesting season. It's going to be a very interesting season, and interesting to see what really happens, and that's it. But yeah, Service, I'm going to wrap up soon. But big up to everybody in the chat. Thank you for everybody watching tonight. I just need to see how many people have liked the stream. Big up to everybody that's watched the stream today. Big up to everybody. Big up to people that subscribed as well. Please help me to 800 subscribers. We're on the road to 1,000. Big up to everybody. We are trying to do more content. But today it just had to happen because I was just hearing a load of rubbish today. Absolute load of rubbish today. And it's just you can't listen to any, but you just can't do it. You just can't do it anymore. Yeah, you just can't. But big up to everybody in the chat. People, yeah, keep liking the stream, please. Just keep the liking. There's only 40 likes. Only 40 likes. If we can get up to at least 50, that'd be great. Really great. It just help the channel and keep the channel growing as well, because we do want to keep growing the channel. It's not just that as well. It's just to get everything out there as well, to keep Mr. Box Office message going forward, that we want to lift up our standards. And Daniel Levy, you need to convince me. The board needs to convince me that this is the future and not the past. And that's it. And just keep it going, and that's it. But big up to everyone in the chat. You'll see me soon. Maybe sooner than you think, because it will always be a time where Tottenham Hotspur Mr. Box Office needs to make himself known all the time, and that's it. So big up to everybody in the chat that have watched today. Hopefully we will see some news on the centre backs coming soon. Not that it's going to be the best thing. It's just that we just need to find some new centre backs so we can move forward. So we can move forward to getting other players in as well and start the season and then get them settled in and get our team started as well. And that's it. So if you didn't know, get to know, support your boy, Mr. Box Office, subscribe and like, and Mr. Box Office out. Take care.